Do your best intro, Dan.
What's up, everybody? RBL.Live New York podcast episode. You want to say 1 or 0? I like when they do 0.
We could do episode 0.
Is that supposed to be episode 0 when you do the first one and then you circle back around and do 0, or how's that?
Why would you circle around and why would you circle back and do 0 after you do
0
one?
was a prequel.
I mean, this is essentially a prequel. No one's ever seen the podcast before.
But that doesn't make it a prequel. That makes it
the prequel is the one where you deleted, where you talked all the shit.
Maybe we'll release that at a later date.
Yeah, maybe maybe on the future Patreon.
Yeah.
This is Roasted New York, the podcast. I'm Scott Hall. I'm here with the man, Dan Wickes. Yeah. This is the fiasco. We should not call it the podcast. We should call it a fiasco. Yes. Yeah, awesome. Well, welcome. This is the first episode of the podcast. I don't.
New York, baby.
Yeah, this is not RBL Weekly.
No, we're not. No, fuck that. We're mean. We don't care. We're not trying to build up battles. We're trying to tear them down. We're trying to air out drama. We're trying to anyway. There's a situation going on with the league that we really hope that we're not free to speak on. That we hope that they can just figure out. We love Pat. We love Brian. No reason to pick sides.
we do. We love everybody.
Yeah, but other than that, we're talking drama.
We love everybody, but stop putting Pat in our fucking comments.
Yeah, man. Pat said he told me he hates you. He specifically told me that he hates every fan. He specifically hates the people.
Pat's gonna hate that. He did say either subscribe to his Patreon or shut the fuck up about it.
Well, he didn't say that, but we said that because we're New York. Pat is LA. They're nice out there. You know, you've seen RBL Weekly. They're building things up. We don't care about that. We burn it all down. Subscribe to Pat's Patreon, or you know what? Fuck you.
I like mascot Dan. I like riled up Dan. I like announcer Dan. This is a new Dan.
Oh, speaking of riled up and stuff, you know, with the shaking and all that, just want to clear something up. It's real.
Do people not think it's real?
I think people have come around for the most part, but people used to suggest I was faking it. Even like there was an season 1 episode of RBL Weekly where Sarah Keller was trying to say like, I don't know, I was hanging out with him in the green room. He wasn't really shaking that much.
What, dude? Yeah. When I first met you, I think it was like we started coming here for like mics before I owned it. And I remember going to the taco truck with you one time, and I could not figure out how to like talk to you. It was fun. It was fun. I mean, now you're like one of my best friends, but like you, it was just you're so matter of fact about everything. And I was trying to gauge like what you were. I always knew it was like a physical, like a medical thing. I didn't ever think you were like on drugs or anything like that. But I was very confused at first. Also, you for being mad that people think that you're faking it. You did the exact same thing to that guy from Chicago the last time we hosted RBL.
Yeah, that's true. I did do that, and I do it again.
The dude with the overalls. You were like, I don't like his shtick.
I don't like any of it.
Did you figure out if it's real or not?
I think it's real. All of his clips are like all that, but you know, who knows? Fucking, there are other guys who go on stage like a certain Kill Tony regulars who are doing
Timmy No Breaks. Oh, why don't you just do dice? Like that's how far people are gone from like actual. Like the history of comedy is that a guy's just doing dice and everyone's like, yo, this is amazing. It's like, how long till someone's smashing a watermelon again?
Shout out Timmy. Timmy's a friend of the pod.
Is he a friend of the pod? Do you know
he's
him?
A friend of me. I met him. He's been super cool.
Is that real?
No, that's real. I met Timmy.
No, I mean, is his fucking accent real?
No, he's doing a character.
Of course.
No, for real. That character came about. I mean, he already had the character, but he did roast battle, and he was gonna roast as himself, but the guy he battled said that he wrote a bunch of Timmy No Breaks jokes. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll do Timmy No Breaks. And then like since then, it's kind of. I
mean, I guess it's smart if you want to do a character. I guess people do characters. Los Digits is a character.
Oh, I was there. He was roasting some other guy. He roasted some. It was character. He was up against some fat guy. The fat guy.
Pork Chop.
Part of the bit. No, Pork Chop was in shape. Pork Chop was the thinnest guy in Cleveland.
Like, imagine being the thinnest guy in Cleveland. Your name is Pork Chop.
Yeah. Yeah, I was on the phone with Chris Paul today because we're battling next month. And
Oh,
we're
he's the
exchanging
man.
info, and I told him that you guys are by far the fattest scene in the league.
You know what? As a guy who gets called fat regularly by Dan, I do appreciate that.
Yeah, dude. One time I sent in rankings to Pat, and I said like Cleveland was great this week, and I usually hate Cleveland fat guy, and then I realized I was talking about a different fat guy. And Cleveland fat is not just fat; this is like morbidly obese.
Is there a lot of fat? Is there like fat
They're
Cleveland battlers?
huge. Yes, they're all massive. They're like it's a scene of two plane seats on the airplane.
I want to know what you guys think. Who the fattest city is?
It's not.
You think it's not even close?
Yeah, not at all.
Is it just the battlers, or you think the whole city's fat?
It's a good question. I mean, it's the Midwest, so people are fatter.
What do you think the hottest scene is?
Probably LA.
Yeah, it's not even close.
LA,
yeah, of course. Stupid. They don't have jokes, so they got to be hot.
Yeah.
Although the champion or the second, what is it? Nate's not exactly a runway model. Hilarious though, very funny.
Yeah.
And also a cool dude. He was actually very, very chill.
Yeah, I like Nate a lot.
Not that I was surprised or anything like that.
Yeah, well, he's got to be. You got to be cool when you look like that.
When you look extremely threatening.
Yeah.
Imagine meeting Nate in a dark alley, and he just makes like a pun about you. It's like, this guy's gonna rob me. Instead of he called me what Selma Hayek. It was a joke we heard last night, 2 nights ago.
He makes this face and he robs you, and he calls you the mean mug.
You're a mean mug, huh? I can't do a Nate yet. I'll develop a Nate. That's my goal.
Yeah.
I think I could do a Nate impression eventually.
Yeah.
I'd have to hear him. All right, Cleveland's fat, LA's skinny.
I'm not faking it.
Dan's not faking it. The guy in Chicago still remains to be seen. Nick, right?
Yeah, that was the comments on the first time we did RBL Weekly. Was some people were saying like, I thought it was great, although it was bizarre seeing Dan so still.
You are pretty still at the moment.
Yeah.
What makes you like wig out? Obviously, when you're anxious or excited.
Yeah, that's mostly it. Yeah, that's why like sometimes Eric will try to tell me like I think you're playing it up because you don't do that in your stand up. Like the thing is, I do sometimes do in my stand up. I do try to like make myself do it because I need consistency. But in the roast battles, it's just like so tense and like.
But the idea that you're not playing it up a little bit is retarded.
Well, I mean,
you are for sure playing it up.
I have to play it in some direction.
You did like the Macarena the last battle.
Well, yeah, but I have to play it in some direction because something's going to happen. If I don't do anything, like I used to try to just be as still as possible.
Yeah.
And I would just like stick my hand in my pocket. I would just yank it really hard.
Yeah.
Like
Martin Phillips says that. I knew him from DC.
Yeah.
He used to keep his cerebral palsy. Just stick his hand in his pocket.
Yeah, and like so it's like all right, like I gotta like what's playing it up? Like something needs to happen. It needs to get out of my body.
Well, I mean, the anniversary show. If you guys are watching this episode on Tuesday, the anniversary show just dropped Sunday on the main channel. I guess this will be on the main channel too. But Dan crushed Malia. It was actually a great fight. By the end, it was.
In the beginning, I was getting smoked, but then the tide turned.
That was one of the best battles I've seen because it started, and I was like, "Oh, Malia's got this." I was like, damn, Dan's getting murked. Which is the case. At New York Comedy Club, there is a thing of just like the audience there does not like the man-girl dynamic.
Yeah.
I think it's like tourists. I think they just want it to be nice. And also Dan's creepy looking. And Malia's so sweet looking. I mean, that is part of it. That's why Big T didn't help himself with his jokes.
Yeah, New York Comedy Club's audience, they don't necessarily it's probably out of all the shows in New York the least these are roast battle fans that are coming out. So they're really not used to it, and it's that sort of thing. Like especially there's a lot of women in the crowd, it can get very hard to be mean to a woman, and especially the battle immediately before me was, as Scott was saying, Big T Charity, and Big T ate it.
Yeah, go watch that if you haven't watched it. Big T, well, he sexualized Charity in a way that's like, she's just not that.
Yeah,
she's like a sweet little girl.
Not the angle I would have taken.
I mean, it was just pussy this, pussy that. All her exes were trans. They got pussies. It was crazy. I saw him yesterday. We shot a sketch, and I saw him yesterday, and he was legit mad. He got into it with Mike Lawrence. They got into like not a fight, but they were going back and forth, and Mike let him have it. I don't know why you'd pick a verbal fight with Mike Lawrence.
Yeah.
Seems like the last person you want to have a roast off with. But he started talking shit to Mike, and I was like, oh, well, he's doing his thing. He just directed it at the judge instead of the audience like he normally does. And then when I talked to him yesterday, he was pissed.
Yeah.
He was pissed. He said he got in Mike's face. he said after the show, he was like, after the show, he's sitting there with his little fucking mini Diet Coke. And I went over to him and I just like put my hand on his shoulder and go, hey, you know, when we were out there, it was just jokes, right? And he goes, I know what the fuck I was doing. I was like, you got in his face, dude? He goes, yeah, fuck that guy. I mean, I'm being hyperbolic a little bit, but he was like, it did irritate him.
I believe it. I felt one time I was judging one of Big T's battles, it felt like that we got a little into it almost, but we've both gone way over the top in both directions, apologizing to each other since.
Yeah.
I got put into a weird position where basically Big T was battling this guy Clay, who was so bad. He was horrible.
Poor Clay.
But then at the end of round 2, I was like so ready to be like, Big T won this. We're gonna end this battle because Big T did bad too, but not as bad. Like Big T's jokes were like he really worked on them. They just didn't hit. Whereas Clay was just bad. But then the other 2 people voted for Clay, and I was all like ready to just like pop off on Clay, but then I like couldn't because I had to pretend that Clay won that round. So I had to be like, so I kind of went in on Tommy a little too hard, and then he kind of chirped back at me, and it became a little bit of a thing.
Do you remember what you guys said?
I can't remember. I said, I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I could remember.
Because he gets mad if you say he does not like his jokes being discounted.
Yeah, I did that. I was saying like, what were you thinking? This guy doesn't look like that. And it just became a whole thing. But
he gets mad about that because, but it's crazy because to me, T is one of a kind and one of the big part. He does have great punchlines. When he battled Michael Agumbiade, he had. I mean, it was a super racist jokes, which we love here.
Yeah,
they do work here, but he kind of just he really went pedal to the metal too fast. He didn't really ease into it, but he had a couple bangers, and everyone was laughing at and everyone was laughing at him, like kind of justifying it after when he gets all riled up after every joke, and it kind of overshadowed his punchlines. And I think that he gets really upset when that happens because people think he's just all personality, and it's like, no, dude, you should really embrace how you're. I don't know if JJ's doing this, but JJ has a little bit of that too. Where his punchlines are one thing, but then like after someone gets him, his reaction to getting roasted is like one of the funniest I've ever seen. He's always like, "Oh yeah, well yeah, you would think that." Or like, it's like just small stuff like that. It's the character he's building, and it's like that's just as beneficial as being like a sharp writer, like who you are on stage.
Yeah, just being because he's just entertaining the crowd, which is also ultimately the goal.
Yeah,
Also,
and Big T does that, but I think he just got in his. I think he just wanted to win so bad.
Yeah,
that it like irritated him.
Yeah, one last thing on the Mike Lawrence thing. This isn't the only Big T isn't the only battler who's complained to me specifically about getting grilled by Mike Lawrence from the judges table.
Who?
I mean, I don't want to say his name, but it wouldn't be that hard to figure out if you
go through the battles
the Cellar show.
Who was it?
Who amongst these battlers seems like they're prone to complaining?
I don't know who you're talking about because I didn't watch the judging. I watched some of the battles.
Oh, you'll figure it out.
Just based on everyone's face during the show, I'm gonna have to go with Ryan.
Yeah.
Was it Ryan?
It is 100% Ryan.
Oh, poor Ryan. I don't know Ryan. Like we've never met in person.
Yeah.
We might have. I don't remember on the Cellar show. Maybe.
Mike Lawrence had a very funny line that Ryan took a little too personally, which he didn't really need to take personally. It was just like he was just a joke.
He looked pissed during the battle.
Yeah, but after the Mike Lawrence said he's the difference between because he was up against Andrew Manning, our boy, who I have
Shout
said
out
on
Andrew.
record, I think the best battler in the world.
Best in the world for sure.
New York. He goes. Mike Lawrence goes. The difference between comedy in New York and comedy LA is the laughs he was getting and the laughs he was getting.
Ooh. I do remember that.
Yeah,
I do think I saw that. Oh man, that's such a compliment too.
Yeah,
I mean they got into it about LA, New York with Big T also. Big T called him like an LA guy. And then what did he say? He said, yeah, one of us has jokes and the other one's all personality. You seem like the LA one to me. It's like, dude, Mike is fucking quick, dude.
Mike, and Mike's also not an LA guy. He lives there, but he's not.
He's a New York guy.
He's born. Yeah, he was created in our pressure cooker.
Yeah. So when did you start roasting?
I started roasting I started roasting about 9 years ago. I was matched up with a certain person who would. So I was first asked to battle this person, and I didn't want to battle her because I was like kind of talking to her, right? Kind of like a little will they, won't they type thing. And then it ended up not happening, which was good. She got it canceled, which is great because I relied on her to do that because she was kind of like a name there, and I wasn't. I was nobody. I'd never done it before. And then the second time, we got asked to do it again. And then she was like, all right, let's do it. And I'm like, what? Shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then so then the day comes around. And by the way, after that, at this point, we had like gone on a few dates. We had hung out a bit. And then like a moment happened that like was the type of thing like, oh, wow, maybe we're not going to be dating at all. And
Okay.
I'm like literally given like certain thought to like, do I even want to continue to see this person?
You were making the decision about whether you guys were gonna date or not.
One weekend. But yeah, this was a different. So I mean, this
Imagine
thing,
being Dan, the one holding the bull.
but yeah, because a thing happened, and basically, I talked to some friends who were like my mic buddies, and I just basically talked to them, and they were like, well, if that's all it is, I think it's still worth giving a shot, and we agreed, and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
So so I get there, we're still doing the battle. We haven't talked since the thing happened, and I'm like, oh hey, what's up? Excited?
What was the thing?
She had a very messy car. It was like, and not being like, I know that when you've seen my room, it seems like.
Just so you know, Dan lives. I don't even know how to describe. You know the scene in Idiocracy where the guy busts through the wall, but then he doesn't notice, and he's like, "Leave me alone, I'm baiting."
Yeah, but something to keep in mind. This was a decade ago. I wasn't living
You
my
were
life
cleanly.
the same.
You were cleanly. Well, Dan's an artist. He doesn't have time to be cleaning.
Yeah, and like I was, and not only was I cleanly, I like had my corporate job. I was like
You're still like normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just messy. It was like horrendous. It was like horrible. Like it was like full. It was like we got in there and she panically like grabbed a Febreze bottle and started like that's what we're talking about.
That's comic brain, though. There's so many comics that look put together, and then you see their personal life, and it's like, good God.
Yeah.
And we're all. I mean, I'm included in that. But what? Okay.
But yeah, but then I get there.
Messy
and I tell
car.
her, like,
You just lost a girl because your room was too messy.
Yes. Yeah. It all came full circle. Really. Yeah. But he shout out a lot of the gonna figure out what to do with all those jokes from the birthday roast. They literally a tangent, but birthday roast. The second night of it, most of the jokes are about how I need to clean my room and how it's crazy that this girl's talking to me. Literally the next morning, she ends things.
Maybe she was here. Maybe she sent a spy.
But yeah, anyway, so years ago we're at this is at Lovecraft Bar, where Fight Club was at the time, back when this was a show and not an open mic. But I say to her, since she sees me where she's nervous because we haven't spoken since. I'm nervous because we haven't spoken since. I tell her I still want to date you, and she's like, oh okay, we can talk about this later. So we do the battle. It's horrible. We go to overtime. We're both bad. Overtime joke. We both bomb. We go to double overtime. She doesn't have a double overtime joke, so I win by default. And then that night, and then after we talk, we sort it out. We end up reconvening dating for about 2 years. But
when did you start battling, Dan? Anyway, I once loved a woman.
The next show was this.
Sounds like that girl was wiling out.
The next show. I'm battling this guy who's like a Laughing Buddha host, which sounds embarrassing, but this is kind of what the scene was at the time. That was where that like the shit. We
don't need to go battle by battle, Dan.
No, but this is
all right.
important because this is the one that like made me like, all right, he's a guy.
Okay.
And also the way Fight Club was, it was like they have the dais. It was like a very like it felt like if you were here, if you could like be funny here, you were like a made man a little bit. That's kind of how it felt.
What show was this again?
This was Fight Club.
This was Fight Club at the Stand.
No.
Okay.
No. This was at Lovecraft.
Oh, you just said yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this was when it was still like an old. I mean, it's always been like
before or after Gas.
But this was way before.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So this is yeah, this so yeah, I go I show up. Sorry, I got thrown off by all that nerd. Was it before or after gas? Was Louis J. Gomez involved? Big J. Okerson?
Sorry for trying to get people. Sorry, people don't want to hear about Lovecraft and a bunch of other
It's just
shit
the
they've never
history
heard of it.
I'm trying to tell my story. I'm not
Tell
trying
another
to-
vague story about a woman who broke up with you.
It wasn't. I mean, it's not that hard to figure everything out. But
Yeah, she was whiling out.
It's anyway, so we go. So this is week 2. This guy, he's a Buddha host, and everyone expects him to beat me because apparently he was like he had some decent battles. In retrospect, this guy was horrible. He was like he really sucked, and it really shows just how easy it was to get a laugh in this room. But he
Okay.
goes up, he does his 3 jokes, and my first joke was literally, I was nervous about this battle until I realized that Laughing Buddha doesn't teach a class on roasting. And the
Oh, nice.
No!
Yeah.
And he was like, wow, because he said after how great it was because nobody had ever hit him on that angle before about like just being like a Buddha host and how
Yeah.
embarrassing that is. And I just had some jokes like that. My favorite he bombed his whole round 2, and the way they would do it was 3 jokes in a row, and then I just won one immediately. You know, when you have a joke where it's just you win, I just go, Tom is part Irish and part tomato.
That's all you said.
Yeah, and he just had like a very red face. The guy even redder. So
He just looks.
Yeah.
He does look half Irish and half tomato.
Yeah.
Nice,
And
dude.
the place went, yeah, and at that, and everybody walking out, they're like, "Yo, great job, man, great job!" Like, and it felt really good too because, like, to put everything together with the week before, everyone was mad at me that I won because it was a tournament, and then I advanced, and everyone wanted her to advance because she's like a name there, and that's true. She had only had good battles at that point, and then she just had the bad battle against me, and now this guy who sucked is advancing in the tournament, so
I
that
see.
sucks. But then but now it's like, all right, maybe there's something here after all.
Yeah.
Then we
And how long were you doing comedy before you started roasting?
like 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, then week 3, I lost a very close battle against this girl, Catherine Zini. We then redid it at the New York Comedy Club where I ate a dick, very bad. Yeah, my jokes were not the type of stuff that like a real audience needed to want to hear, and it took me a while to learn like that to bridge that gap, like probably about like 6 months at least.
To bridge the gap, you mean? Because it is hard to figure out what works in a room that's mostly
Yeah.
comics and what works for audience members.
Yeah,
I mean, we saw that fucking 2 nights ago,
yeah,
right? Was it 2 nights ago was the show or last? 2 nights ago, yeah.
yeah,
At Flophouse.
yeah.
There was a battle that was like, they
Oh,
were
no,
having
that-
fun.
No, that would have.
I know, that was bad. Yeah, that
that
would
was
have
just
bombed
horrible.
anywhere for sure.
But
But
like even like
but
I
in Brooklyn, like around their friends,
No, it's-
that would have been
that's-
like,
no.
oh, cute. This is like
No.
fun.
No, that was we would have laughed because she's attractive. That's what that was. But
Well, no.
the we're
I
leaving
like how
it
you
in.
said she instead of they.
We're leaving it in. But the
I'm not taking it out.
no, we are 100% leaving that in. But I like my Laughing Buddha joke that I said earlier. That wouldn't have worked at New York Comedy Club. Like I wouldn't have tried that. But I had certain jokes that just weren't working. I would try them on like my open mic friends, and they'd be like, "That's hilarious," and I bring it there, and I bomb.
Were there more tournaments back then
There was a tournament like every like 4 months or something.
for a belt or for what?
Yeah, for a belt, for the Fight Club belt. Yeah,
Okay, and that's
Yeah.
just Fight Club, or they all?
that was Then there was
Because there was Fight Club,
yeah,
New York.
The annual New York tournament didn't start
Roast
until
Masters,
after New York. After like Roast Masters folded. James and we're skipping a lot here, but yeah,
Well, that's-
James. So James runs the show at New York Comedy Club, right? And now I know James has his rep. We all know. We all have our feelings about him. But I just want to communicate that at the time he was doing a good job running the show. He was like ambitious. He really was trying to build something cool. And he got a belt and he started a tournament there.
He needs a belt now, really.
But yeah, he started the tourney and they because he was like he saw an opening when Roast Masters folded. And to try to make New York Comedy Club the thing.
How long was it before you started roasting to the end of Roast Masters? Because when you started roasting,
Think
it was
about
did
yeah,
New York
I think
didn't
a year
exist,
and a half to 2 years.
but New York didn't exist until Roast Masters broke up.
No, that's not true. New York
No, I'm
Comedy
asking
Club,
you.
the show existed, But it was like when James became the producer, he like started trying to like make moves. He like tried to kick in another because when early
So
New
how
York
long was the
Comedy
roast?
Club, they would sell out and they would be really. But Emilio was booking it at first, and he was doing a real bad job booking it. Like, yeah, I mean, it's fine. He's a club owner. He's not like the
Yeah, he doesn't know.
yeah,
He's not out there.
he was just booking like the comics at the club, and it like I remember a specific battle, Lucas Connolly, in like a 3-rounder in the finals of the in like the main event, just 0 for 13 on jokes. It was horrible.
Also, speaking of which, you should go back to our YouTube. We're doing a lost tape series, and it's a bunch of old battles. We just put up Dan and Jeffrey A. Smith, and then the last battle we just put up was JP and John Marco Ceresi.
Yeah,
So
one of
check
my
those
favorite
out. We're going to be
battles, yeah.
uploading old battles that aren't up anywhere else.
Yeah.
So just classic
Big
New York
problem with
battles
the
from comics you
industry
probably
is,
know.
Sometimes it does work, and funny comics do get things, which is bad because then they roast less.
Well, roasting, that's another thing I was going to ask. Like, where was roasting when you started? Was it like, where was it as far as Comedy Central goes? Where was it as far as LA goes?
When I
Like,
started, it was.
was
in
it a thing, or
between-
was it like a thing people just still made fun of?
When it was, well, the TV show was still on the air, so people weren't making fun of it.
So it had some
I
legitimacy.
mean, but there was still like the stigma of like, you roast because you're not good at stand up.
Yeah.
But the Roast Masters was a big show when I had started. New York Comedy Club was, even though they hadn't figured out the online thing, it still had a big aura to it because it was a sold out show every other week, and and the crowd was nuts. It was like a really incredible show.
Yeah.
And once in a while we still do get that, like the show last week was nuts, and it was like a little bit of like, even, I mean, it was fine. It was a little bit of a window into what it used to be like.
The anniversary show?
Yeah. But it was packed, but that crowd wasn't like,
I would honestly say, and it wasn't as big of a show, but our last Flophouse show.
Yeah.
Not this week, but the one before.
Yeah. But
and also some Grove shows. Like, they're, again, not what it used to be, for sure.
But you saw we put up my Jeffrey battle. That used to be like, that energy in that room used to be like a regular thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But I wonder, I guess more people were just familiar with it because it was on mainstream TV.
Well, they also marketed it much better. The show was like much more organized. There was a lot that was different.
Just people knowing what they're in for when they come to a roast battle makes all the difference in the world, though.
Yeah.
Because they can be tight.
Yeah.
When someone's saying retard or saying the most racist stuff you've ever heard.
Yeah.
Funny. But like, because New York's pretty brutal comparatively to other cities.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
also like the organization is like why people stopped coming. You know, people were just.
What do you mean?
Like it was just a poorly organized show. People come, they don't have a good time, or like
of
the
course.
show even gets canceled, which is a thing that would have been unheard of back in the day.
Yeah.
This stuff doesn't help.
What do you think the main reason? So you start battling. A couple years later, Roast Masters kind of falls apart because they didn't take anyone. Or they didn't.
Well,
what
Lewis
was
ended the show because he was upset that they didn't take any New York battlers for the TV show, which
for season
was a principled,
three?
for season 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Which was a principled stand, and shout out Lewis. But
And
someone did make the point that Lewis, we appreciate you. Definitely your heart's in the right place, but this is a great platform for a lot of comics. Seems like you're correct.
Yeah.
So that's why he brought Fight Club under the gas umbrella.
Do you think that was like kind of the decline again, or was there a decline like in the roast scene?
Yeah, that was 100%.
And I just
decline.
and I just know like because when I first started roasting here, before Pat started the league, Pat and Brian started the league, and all the shit when I started roasting it did have that stigma, almost like.
Well, that hurt. I mean, that really hurt the online. It decimated the online project because the New York couldn't really figure it out. Like we had like great.
Those
videos
battles were
going up,
massive.
but they would go like but the New York battles would cap out like 10 to 15K, maybe 20K. Like they weren't doing Roast Masters numbers.
Yeah, Roast Masters $1 million, 100,000.
Because these battles were very good, but they just didn't have the production stuff figured out.
Also more competition overall.
Yeah. Well, not for roast battle.
Just on the internet.
Yeah. And then for sure that. And then unfortunately Fight Club had nothing figured out, so everything just tanked.
Tech wise, yeah.
And also they were marketing to an audience that was used to Roast Masters, and when they got what they weren't expecting, they got very upset.
Yeah, it just wasn't, if you take if yeah. That's what I mean though, like with Lewis, like he had a cast of the best comedians in the world. I mean, those old battles are being judged by like Young List, Norman, fucking Rich Voss, Ari, Big J, like legends.
Yeah.
You know, Bonnie McFarlane, Janine Garofalo, like they're just literally New York legends, like in and out of roast battling. Not so much in roast battling, to be honest, outside of Roastmasters,
Yeah.
but definitely New York legends. That's something that I do kind of pine for. I mean, we're working back up for sure. You're going to see a lot more judges on this podcast and just in general in our show, but that is something I would love, because those guys also, there was something about the camaraderie they had, that Roastmasters had, like the dais, like they would all shit on each other, and like the host like knew what was going on. Josh does a great job doing that.
One specific one that I remember where this one guy who would do Roastmasters all the time always bomb. There was one specific time where they got the whole room, like all the judges did like an in joke where they were like rooting for him sarcastically and got the whole room to do it. Yeah, I'm talking like Big J and guys that were doing this. Yeah,
That's so. Yeah, but that is the best part of comedy. You know?
yeah.
And I said this on the one we recorded before, but there is something to be said when you see that type of camaraderie. Like, you really feel like you're one of them. You feel like you see behind the curtain a little bit. You're like, wow, this is a bit they're doing for no one but themselves. Like, online's going to appreciate it, but they don't know why it's so funny. And there's a little bit of that I think we're getting a little bit back. We're getting back towards on our end. Okay. So I guess what you do, yeah, talk about what happened. I guess we can talk about the decline, or like what happened. Was it the TV show? Them not like that was good. Them like not renewing the TV show, did that create like a big dip, or was it that in combination with Roastmasters?
I mean, yeah, it was the end of Roastmasters, and then it was like, and it was well. Also, what you're talking about is just for the online stuff, because locally it was still popping.
Well, I guess no, that's more really what I'm worried about is locally, and like where you kind of fit
into
the
New York
that.
Comedy Club show was still awesome. It was
Okay.
like, it was like these were like these shows ripped for a while, and probably all the way up until the pandemic. When it came back a bit, I think a problem they had too was James just had more going on in his life, where he started like touring, and
You just focused on more on stand up and less on the show.
Yeah, so he kind of like let the product decline a bit.
Mm.
And and as I already covered, like Fight Club was just bad. It just like
It just couldn't hold up to what Roastmasters was.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is big shoes to fill.
Also, there were some, like, a lot of people walked from the show for like some certain drama that happened. But yeah, like people who were like a huge part of the show, like Maddie Smith, like Chris Crespo, like Andrew Castano, they all like left the show, and when that happened, they kind of really suffered.
So I think, I mean, based on that, so what are you doing? Where are you putting your eggs at this point?
My eggs here, of course. I fucking
No, I don't mean now. I mean obviously, but I mean like back then, like when everything was kind of falling up. Were you just
New York,
kind of New York?
100%, yeah.
Was it because it was a club, or was it because it was just the best show, or both? Obviously both.
Both those reasons. Also, I was closest. Also, me and James were close. We were like, this was like our baby. Me and James built that shit. Like, I was proud of it. Like, it was like Emilio would like post whenever me and him battled. Like, me and anyone. It was like we went to LA to battle people, and Emilio made a post like, James Fontillo and Dan Wickes just rep New York and fucking took W's in the belly room. What's up? And like, shit was cool. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't seem to me like anyone really picked up the mantle until we started like putting online stuff here. And I mean, I don't know how you feel, but when I got here, it was like, there were 3 shows. I wanted to do New York just because it was the club, but that was really the only reason to do it. Yeah. You know, it is what it is, but but this show is the one that's putting in the most effort. We do the most online.
Yeah. Just,
we try really, I mean, we bust our ass for this fucking, we talk about this shit every day.
Very strange thing that a lot of people don't do, which is I try to
shake.
I try to book people who will make the people in the room laugh. Who, like,
you do a great job booking.
To see. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's a weird, bizarre formula that some people have not been able to figure out for years for some reason.
It is odd though, because me and you will go back, like for the most part, you book all the battles without, I don't really know, but we do toss around some ideas when after a show or something, it's like, oh, it'd be great to see them two together. But you really do start to get a sense of like who are going to do well together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they can why and for what reasons. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes it's just you want a great battle, but sometimes it's like you want someone to tee off on somebody else.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
other
I
times
do.
it's like you
Yeah,
want, like the
yeah,
one
like-
I'm campaigning for right now is Michael Green versus
Michael Kaufman.
Michael Kaufman.
Yeah, that
yeah.
one will definitely happen. But one of the it's great when I have these conversations with Scott too, because I'll be like, I'll go on one hand, I'll be like, I want everyone to succeed, I want all the battlers to leave feeling good about themselves, and then I'll be like, hey, there's you know that guy, that 40-year-old guy who still talks about doing varsity baseball, I want you to fucking embarrass him.
You do have a thing where the last like 6 people, maybe not 6, but the last few people Dan asked me to battle is solely so that Dan could watch them just get murked.
Yeah.
Like, you need to say not nice, not even clever, just rude shit to them. You got what you wanted.
Yeah, my favorite Scott battle ever, and by far, and this is the objectively right choice, even though he doesn't think it is. I put him
What?
against the poor guy by the name of
Oh man.
and Steven had just gone through a divorce, and he's doing just savagely mean jokes.
I
He
did
go-
I did a thing
yeah.
there where it was like all the setups which seemed like a setup to a different joke, but they all ended up with jokes about his wife having sex with somebody else.
Yeah,
Or divorcing him.
yeah. Like what was the best one? The one about him hosting the show.
Oh yeah, I go, oh man. I said something about how he got fired, and I was like, when
Yeah.
they
He said-
Oh, his
he
audience,
said
they-
Steven used to be the host of this show.
yeah, his
It was
audience
a lot like it was a lot like his marriage. Just a captive audience hearing him scream, getting ready to leave.
I didn't say captain. Yeah, I said they're just I can't remember, the audience feels a lot like his wife. They're just getting yelled at and they're ready to leave.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And
But I
it had something, he
remember
was like, okay. And what's great is all this happened.
he tapped before the last joke. He didn't even do a 5th joke. He was like,
Yeah.
you got it. He didn't even want me to tell mine.
And the best part about this is right before the show, we had Shane Gillis headline Grove, and he
Yeah.
stuck around and watched the whole show.
I mean, I have video of him and Lil Sasquatch beating on the wall after the last joke because they
Yeah.
liked it so much.
The and all the judges knew this was happening, so people were kind of nice. But I had no idea. I didn't know they were behind me because I was just sitting at the table. I didn't look behind me, so I just let Steven have it.
I don't remember what
I
you
just went
said.
like, oh, Steven, I wish I could make you the host just so I could fire you again.
Dude, you really, that has to bombing in front, and equally I felt great in the moment. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, just killed in front of Shane.
What's great,
But he must have felt terrible. He didn't. I don't think he's
Yeah.
battled since.
Oh no, not here.
Fight
Actually,
Club.
he has here a few times. But yeah, that is also the point of the other show. Some people who can't hack it in front of real audiences want a room where they can feel like they're not like they're funny. Like, oh, I'm funnier than the homeless guy. I'm something. But
Jesus.
but anyway, a few days later, he's telling us he's really going through it at this point about how his how his ex-wife sang at Dave Chappelle's birthday party, which is a real thing that happened, just like brutal. But I told him like, hey man, it could be worse. I mean, you're doing stuff too. You just performed in front of a famous comedian.
Oh man, you're such a dick. You really are. It's crazy because it's like, my whole life, my best friend too in high school was a guy who would like sleep with all these women and like just leave, and like he was just such a philanderer, and like we'd hang out and they'd be like, Scott's the asshole. It's like because I just present and talk like a dick,
Yeah.
but you are an asshole. You take genuine pleasure in like just being mean. You hurt my feelings. You hurt everyone I know around you's feelings sometimes. But that's also why you're good at roasting, and that's why I love you, and that's why I love working with you on the show, because it's like we do enjoy, dude, roasting someone of a good joke, like that's hilarious. I know it hurt his feelings saying that,
He immediately
but
was
that's so funny.
like, fuck you.
Yeah,
That was him.
I know, but that's what comedy is. Like there is a thing of just like eat it, dude. Like this is the ultimate ego.
It was great too because it was around other comics. Asker was there, and he and it took him a second, and once he realized, he started dying laughing.
Yeah. It's so he's gonna hate this too. Hopefully he doesn't see it.
Yeah, and hopefully he does.
But, okay. Yeah, so I mean I guess that's kind of been the history up until now.
Yeah,
And your
you
history,
know,
I
with
mean, you've done
pieces,
some
yeah,
tournaments
There's a
and-
lot more that happened in between, of course, but that's yeah.
They can ask. I mean, if you guys leave comments, obviously we're going to be interviewing people on the podcast. We're going to try some big, we are going to have some bigger comics come on that that will eventually judge the show, and then we're gonna have people on like Andrew Manning, Josh, Eric, whoever, just battlers. You know, Divya would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, some. He was gonna be. You want to get into some kind of joke? Or you gonna...
No, that's not what I meant. Just because you named all guys.
Oh yeah, some women. Okay, so I knew. Yeah, I knew. Yeah, Divya. Well, hopefully, maybe we can get some people like Dina
That
or
would be
whoever
sick,
if people
yeah.
are around and like
Yeah.
really talk about. Eli's obviously the white whale.
Yeah,
We all want to know
that's
what he's
not
up
gonna
to.
happen, but
He stepped
I
away.
see him every once in a while. He's in good spirits.
He's the OG man.
Yeah, I run into him on the street sometimes in Bushwick.
Yeah, he's. I mean, he's obviously the goal, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys want to hear anything, or if there's anyone in particular you want us to interview, just let us know.
Yeah. What's up? All right. So now, quick plugs. Of course, if you're here in New York, we would love for you to come see a show. We do shows. Usually our Wednesday shows are here at Grove. Once in a while they're on a Tuesday. Once a month we're at Flophouse in Williamsburg. We're doing a show. We do a monthly in Stamford, Connecticut. If you live in Connecticut, we're in talks. We're trying to add a Jersey show at the Stress Factory. And we're also adding a monthly showcase where we let the roasters do stand up, which also I think is an important thing to do, because as we were talking about earlier, people don't respect the roasters. You used to be like, you roast because you can't battle. Very important that we all support these people stand up, so we take them seriously as comedians, and that's something I want to foster.